Online I post a question. I love questions almost as much as I love quotes. You tell a story, and the questions make you question and make you, a term that my wife hates. You don't know what you don't know. So when you question something, you may get some amazing insight that you didn't even know you needed. I haven't been running lately, but when I run, I usually solve problems I didn't even know I had. Generally because I ask myself a lot of questions. So anyways, I posed the question of what 6 people are going to be carrying your casket when you die. It's a rhetorical question because I plan to be cremated. Unless my mother is alive, then I'll be buried. But I think it's important to pinpoint those people that mean a lot to you, and more importantly, you mean a lot to them. And because then you could prioritize, am I doing what I should? Because if you mean a lot to them, then likely you can impact their life more than many other people. You could influence their life. And that's a gift that I believe God entrusts us with, and not with everybody. And also, I have 3 sons, I have a wife, who is going to give them a call, who is going to stop by, who is going to, take one of my sons out to lunch to check on him, who is going to talk to them about God, who is going to, look out. So it's and if you don't have that, maybe you haven't established a community. I'm a big loner. I don't have many friends at all. But I have people that, even though I don't see them for years, we have a pact, we have a bond, and that's important. Right now, I'm working on establishing, myself, a foundation in my community, because I believe that it's important, especially as you age, that you play a role in your community to add value to them, and get value from your community. However, one of the answers that I got mentioned one thing that almost bothered me to no end, was we and they and many will keep my memory alive. And that's an amazing sentiment. But then I asked myself another question. Do I need my memory to be kept alive? Isn't that almost fear-based? Isn't that fear of the end? Fear of being finite? I've struggled, and maybe I still struggle with sometimes, with the end, with the fear of death, with the fear of being finite. But the truth is that 99.999 of us won't be remembered in 100 years. I've written a couple books, working on my 3rd book. Maybe I will be remembered slightly longer, maybe not. But does it matter? What really matters is that I added value to the people that I left behind, the people that I came in contact. If the lessons if the insights, if my experience can help those and maybe create a ripple through this life that lasts a long time, then great. But the value that I leave behind is what I want to live on. I don't even have to get the credit for it. My name doesn't have to be remembered. My memory doesn't have to be remembered. I don't need anybody or want anybody to focus on what's done, on what's gone. I believe my sons will always remember me. Maybe my grandkids will remember me too. But if anything, I want my grandkids to remember their fathers more importantly than their grandfather. The values and lessons that they will learn from their fathers hopefully is reminiscent of their grandfather, of me. But I don't need to get credit for it. I don't need to be remembered. I don't need to be hanging in somebody's wall, for generations and for years to come. Maybe for my sons, for them to remember, what kind of man I was and what kind of bar I set, only so they could crush it and go beyond. Maybe that'll be motivation, and for them to know the privilege that they had to grow up with a father, to grow up with a father that gave them a great example. That's cool. I don't need to live on. When I'm done, I'm done. My gas tank shall be empty, and I'll move on to, I don't know, whatever the end is. Maybe the end is, sitting in a living room waiting to go to heaven, or my end might be straight to heaven, or my end might be falling asleep into the dreamland that I never knew I was dreaming anyways. Or maybe I get to reincarnate, or maybe I get to come back as a horse. I don't know. I don't care though. What I care about is what I do now, this moment, this life. When it's over, it's over. What use does it make for me to care what happens after with my memory? I think you gotta be, memento mori, right? Contemplate about death. My wife says I'm morbid about that, but it motivates me to make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to today, and that if I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do today, that it bothers me to no end until I change my behavior, I change my actions to meet the standard that's necessary. Live responsibly. And live today like if you get in a car wreck and you die, you'll be all right. It's okay. The ones that you left, you did enough. And if you don't feel that way, get to work. Love ya.